So for our teacup today, we want to make a beautiful floral print on the outside of our cup before we start making that cute little lavender latte filling inside. Now to do this, we are going to have some nice pink flowers on our cup today. Now you'll notice that you have 2 teacups in your cookie kit, so for your second one you can do it however you want, but I'm going to recommend you follow along with my guidance for this one. So I want to start with a nice light pink flower base. So we're going to take our skinnier paintbrush, dip it right into our pink paint, find one of our wells in our palette, and we're going to put that right in there. Next step is that we are going to then use our other brush that's clean. Okay, I'm gonna kind of dry that off a little bit here. I'm gonna dip it in that white, and we're gonna bring the white airbrush food coloring into this well. Notice I'm kind of dipping a couple times just to give it a nice quantity there. And watch this. I'm gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna mix them together. Perfect. So now we have this beautiful light pink shade. What we're going to do here is we are going to embrace the imperfections, and we're just going to kind of scribble little groups of almost like swirly circles together. The purpose is to make them not exact circles, right? So keep that in mind. Make them even less perfect. Okay, so once we have just kind of some squiggly doos across, as I like to call it sometimes, we are then going to go in and maybe add whatever color you want, but this is where I want to add almost like some kind of little purple details and accents. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another well here. If you want it to be vibrant purple, you can go straight from the purple right onto your cookie, but I'd like it to be a little bit almost like closer to this color. So first things first, I'm actually gonna use this paintbrush here, and I'm gonna take some of this pink and move it to the next bucket over. And then I'm gonna use that same paintbrush and dip a little bit into my purple, just a teeny bit, and mix that there. So you'll notice that this is a much softer shade of purple than if I would have gone straight into the bucket. And this is where we're just gonna kind of go in and kind of just do a little haphazard, almost like little strokes kind of going around. Remember when I said watercolor painting on sugar cookies is all about embracing the imperfection, right? And part of the reason is because it looks more handcrafted that way. And we want this to look handcrafted and beautiful, which it already does. I am really proud of us for that. Something that I think would look really nice would be if we were to able to give this glass like maybe a purple, purple or pink rim. Let's go with purple. So I'm actually gonna go straight back into that purple, and I'm just gonna paint along that rim there. Part of the reason that I chose purple is because you see how this flower was going up into that rim? If I were to go with too light of a color to go over the flower, it would peek through that too much. Now I'm gonna kind of go around. And because we're doing the nice rim up top purple, I'm also going to make a nice little area down here. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this brush off now. because this canvas is so small, like this cookie itself, and we're doing little individual flowers and not just painting the large area one color, that's why I want to use the tiny little brush that we have. Our next step is that I want to give our little flowers leaves, because when it comes to painting on cookies, every detail matters. Now green is the second color in our set here. And now green is the second color in our set here. Now you can tell by looking in your paint cup that green is very vibrant. I don't want too vibrant of a shade of green, so I'm actually, and now if you like that shade, keep at it. But I'm gonna put that green directly into this cup a little bit here. And I am gonna bring maybe a little dash of yellow. Okay. And maybe like a little dash of our white. Let's snag a little more yellow. Yeah, oh my gosh, it's such a more appropriate shade for what I was looking for. And now we are just gonna paint a little, like almost like little dashes just coming off these little flowers. If you kind of touch down and then pull away quickly, the pull away quickly is what will naturally give it that little kind of, almost like a tail coming out. Beautiful. Lovely. Now, before we move on to the next part, we are going to paint this area up here, that nice light latte brown color. So I'm actually not going to recommend using your little brush for this. I'm going to recommend we switch over to our larger brush. I still have some white on it. So I am going to be taking my little cup here and move some white into this palette cup. I'm gonna snag some brown, just a tip on the edge, and we are gonna kind of add it in there, nice and mixed up. So that is such a nice light shade of brown. And we are just gonna paint over, and we're actually gonna paint over this whole thing, including that shape, which is where our lavender sprig is going to go. Now remember, you don't want your brush too saturated or else it's gonna kind of flow all over your cookie. And some of this is just gonna be, you know, practice makes perfect. You know, I've worked with brushes and cookies hundreds of times now. So if yours is taking a little bit more work to be getting like right the exact angle that you're looking for, do not be hard on yourself. I promise you, eventually this is gonna feel like second nature. Beautiful. Now, this that I piped on here is to be a guide. So what it's gonna guide us is for how to paint a sprig of lavender on our lavender latte. We are going to, believe it or not, I'm actually going to take this brown that we've created and I'm going to go back and I'm going to mix it in that green, because I kind of want this green to be like a more natural shade of green, less, what's the word, less vibrant, a little bit more muted. And look at that, that's like exactly the shade that I'm looking for. So what we're going to do is we're gonna paint just using like the edge of your paintbrush. Let's see if we can zoom in here. We're just gonna paint a line right from top to bottom. And if you're like, Christina, why are you painting over the little lavender areas? Because we're starting with the base foundation of the shape, which is one continuous sprig, and then we're gonna get to go in and add those details. So now, I'm going to put my big brush away, and we are going to use our tiny brush. We have our purple in our cup. I'm actually gonna add more white into that purple in the cup. Beautiful. Okay, just a nice light lavender color. And this is where you can always move your cookie around to get a better angle if you want. So this is where I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna paint each of these a nice light little lavender color. So beautiful. Now, if you want to, you could even go in with a little bit of a darker shade of lavender, a darker shade of purple, where you might even just take your same brush, dip right into the purple, and even just kind of use it to paint little, just like little wispies, you know? Let's see if we can zoom in for the last two that I'm doing this on. Just little wispies. Beautiful. Oh, we are almost done. Now, I'll tell you what, if you want your cup to just have, a white base and a white handle, your cup is done. However, I'm thinking that a purple or pink. Let's do a pink handle. I think pink would look super cute with this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this brush away. I am going to take my larger brush. Yeah, let's take our larger brush. Clear it off a little bit. Go back to that nice vibrant pink that we used to make the roses. And the reason that I want to stick with the same pink is really because it's like a design thing, right? So if this cup were actually produced in real life, likely they would use the same shade across it wherever they use that type of color. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? Oh my God, I'm so proud of it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Congratulations, you've got to show me your picture. If you end up posting a picture, please tag me in it. If you end up putting it anywhere, if you even want to just send me a photo, you can always email it to me. My contact info will be in the video info below. Happy painting. Cheers.